Hello friends. Welcome back again on the Consistency in Silence YouTube channel. In the previous class, we have completed our chapter of fundamental rights. Now we will be jumping to the chapter of the next part 4 of our constitution, that is DPSP, Directive Principles of State Policy. Although this phrase is self-explanatory, directive principles, the statements, the principles which give direction. In what sense? In governance of state policy. गवर्नेंस कौन कर रहा है? हमारा स्टेट, हमारी गवर्नमेंट या सिटीजन्स? Of course, our government is doing the part of governance. It means these are the instructions that are directing the state machinery on how to efficiently manage the governance of our country. So this is the phrase directive principle of state policy. Now without any further ado, let's start today's topic. In the previous classes, I have told you the basics of DPSP. जल्दी से लिख लेते हैं. These are all the subparts in which our discussion will be going forward. सारे पार्ट्स बहुत ईजी हैं, बस मेन पार्ट जो सबसे डिफ़िकल्ट है, द मोस्ट डिफ़िकल्ट पार्ट इज़ द रेक्टिफिकेशन, एंड इट इज़ नॉट ईजी टू रिमेंबर all these articles. Article 36, 37 are simple. From 38 towards Article 51. So that is a complicated thing, and we don't have to revise each and every word. We don't have to remember each and every word. We only have to have first thing a conceptual clarity that a particular DSP is pertaining to what thing. This is called conceptual clarity. And the second of all, the important words, so that we can remember in our exam hall कि हमको प्रीलिम्स में कोई स्टेटमेंट दिखी तो हमको अंदाज़ा हो जाए, हाँ ऐसे कुछ चीज़ पढ़ी थी हमने, तो इतना ही हमको DPSP देखनी है. दे आर इंस्टॉल्ड इन पार्ट 4 ऑफ आवर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. आर्टिकल्स 36 to 51 contains DPSP. These are non-justiciable in character. It means one can't approach court that, dear court, please hear my appeal. The government, the incumbent government, is not applying this and this article of DPSP. So please issue a writ towards the government for the implementation of DPSP. So the court will kick you off from the court premises, saying that these are non-justiciable in character. You can't approach any type of court, Supreme Court, High Court, lower courts, for the implementation of DPSPs. This has been written under Article 37 of our Constitution. Under Article 36, it is the definition of state, which is same as किसके ऊपर? The part 3. Part 3 में under Article 12 we have studied the definition of state. The same state definition will be applied here. This has been written under Article 36. Under Article 37, DPSPs are non-justiciable in character, but another phrase has been added to this. उसी के आगे पहले से फ्रेज था, हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल फादर्स थे, उन्होंने इसके आगे एक और फ्रेज डाल दिया. Although these DPSPs are non-justiciable in character, but they are fundamental in the governance of the country. So this is the whole term. और जब if you are interested in debates and discussions, so there are very famous discussions on YouTube channel. The discussion between Subramanian Swamy and Asaduddin Owaisi. So these are very quite, what should I say, spicy debates. मज़ा आता है सुनने में, तो आप सुनिए जाके. So Subramaniam Swamy sir is quoting this part only. Although these are non-justiciable in character, but constitutional fathers has inherently put this particular statement in DPSP itself, that these are fundamental in governance of nation. Fundamental, very basic thing in the governance of country. These are your directions. ये स्टेट को कह रहे हैं हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल फादर्स. Although these are non-justiciable but fundamental in governance. तो इस पे डिबेट है. दिस इज द एक्चुअल डिबेट. Is DPSPs are forcefully implemented on the soils of India? अगर हो सकती है तो फंडामेंटल इन गवर्नेंस, नहीं हो सकती सो एम्फसिस नॉन जस्टिशिएबल कैरेक्टर. अंडरस्टूड. These DPSPs are modified form of instrument of instructions which are given to then Governor General under Government of India Act of 1935. These are all the small tidbits of prelims. Why non-justiciable in character? By constitutional fathers have, after debate and discussions, after a lot of contemplation, mulling in the houses of parliament, has given this quotation of non-justiciability to the DPSP. Yet they have added this phrase fundamental in governance of nation. Why is this so? Why they have made DPSP as non-justiciable? Because they are very pragmatic persons, very realistic persons. They have analyzed the situation of independent India. Independent India at that period of time has many preoccupations like Garibi Hatao, like land reforms, equitable distribution of material resources. These are all the preoccupations of India at that period of time. So these are the top priorities. Second of all, the resources are very limited at that period of time, unlike the present time. We have large forex surplus, we have a stable economy. So these kind of things, these kind of resources are not available at that period of time. That's why constitutional framers has given this quote of non-justiciability to DPSP. Yet another point, constitutional framers or fathers believe in this point, that people should accept these directive principle of state policy. The authority, the incumbent authority should not force these type of rules upon the masses of India, because now we are independent. The previous authority is also enforcing some of the draconian laws on the Indian soils. So Indian masses has recently gained their freedom, and the then incumbent government does not want to project itself as a tyrant like the Britishers. So constitutional fathers want public to inherit or to absorb these DPSP on their own. तो ये थे 2-3 पॉइंट आप लिख सकते हैं एग्जाम में. Are there any DPSPs outside part 4 of our constitution? Yes, there are certain claims of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. क्या था इसकी हिंदी वर्डिंग है. हिंदी वर्डिंग भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है आजकल, क्योंकि आपका पेपर भी है हिंदी ऑप्शनल, उसमें आपको पूछा जा सकता है ना. अनुसूचित जनजातियाँ, scheduled caste. Understood? So there are some certain claims of scheduled caste as well as scheduled tribes. Yet another thing, it is onus of the state to provide education, primary education to the citizens of India. जो प्राइमरी एजुकेशन है वो किस में देनी चाहिए? टू द मदर टंग, इन द मदर टंग ऑफ द एवरी सिटीजन. सो स्टेट शुड स्ट्राइव to give primary education in the mother tongue. Understood? Yet another thing, a DPSP which is outside the part 4 of our constitution is the promotion of Hindi language. So जितनी भी demands उठती है न्यूज़ में, they have the basis, and this is the base. constitutional fathers have inserted a DPSP outside part 4, that it should be the prerogative, it should be the onus of the state to propagate Hindi as the medium of language, so that there is uniformity, some kind of uniformity in India. This is the basis I am telling you with regard to constitution. These are not my personal dispositions. The other side of the debate is emphasizing on the diversity of India. We have a mother tongue, basically the south states as well as some of the east states are saying this. India enjoys its diversity, unity in diversity. There are some classical languages, there are some classical dances. These classical things have their origin in diversity of India only. If there is a uniformity of culture in India, India doesn't enjoy this status of diverse country. So you are destroying the very diversity which gave India a tinge of unique character. So this is the argument of another side. So these are some of the DPSPs that are given outside part 4. Yet another thing, अभी हम चलेंगे, आप टेंशन मत लीजिए, एक एक DPSP पढ़ लेंगे और जल्दी पढ़ेंगे, और मुझे भी ऐसा कुछ याद नहीं है, बट मुझे पता है कि आप भी बहुत ही आलस करोगे पढ़ने में, तो मैं एक एक करके पढ़ दूंगा अपने नोट से. बट उसके पेरिफेरल में बहुत सारी चीज़ें बची है, अभी वो देख लेते हैं. Fundamental rights and DPSPs. There is some historical conflict going on between these two. So going in the debate of the fundamental rights and DPSP, let us discuss the differences between these two things. सबसे easiest, सबसे टुच्ची चीज़ है क्या क्या है, part 3, part 4. Then these are justiciable in nature. These are kind of individualistic. These are kind of static in nature. These are strict worded. This promote political democracy. These are all the characteristics of fundamental rights. Coming to the DPSPs, these are non-justiciable in character, written under Article 37. These are socialistic and societarian in nature. Socialistic जो भी social structure में imbibed है, like equal pay, equal work, material resources को concentrate मत होने दो. So these are kind of socialistic and societarian, the rights which are given to society. Understood? Static, these are dynamic in nature. What is the aspect of dynamism here? This is a steel plate and this is the design carved out of it. किस लिए काम आता है ये? I have told you this is a template. This is a cement. We will put cement here, and after some time we will carve out this particular design on the cement. So this is the kind of template, है ना? This template is tangible in nature, but these ideas are non-tangible. हम छू नहीं सकते इन आइडियाज़ को. So we want to attain a highest form by being a human. The highest form of human being who is integral in nature, highest degree of integrity, wisdom, that believes in equality, fraternity, liberty, and that too highest form, extreme ऑफ अ पर्टिकुलर स्केल। ऐसा नहीं 3 4 100। अंडरस्टैंड? सिंपल वर्ड्स में पुरुषोत्तम राम बनने की कोशिश करनी है सबको। बट ये जो प्रोसेस है, हाईली इंटीग्रेटिव, हाईली जस्टिशिएबल, जस्टिस है उसके पास, आइडियाज़ लाइक फ्रेटर्निटी, इक्वलिटी, लिबर्टी, ये अटेन करना आपकी लाइफ फॉर्म में इजी नहीं है। कैसे इजी नहीं है? ऐसा नहीं है कि आज है आपने 2 साल का टाइम लिया और यहाँ आपने अटेन कर लिया। इट इज़ अ लाइफ लॉन्ग प्रोसेस। दीज DPSPs आर डेट काइंड ऑफ स्टेटमेंट्स। So continuously we have to strive to be better. So that's why these are dynamic in nature and this is static in nature. You have the right to speech and expression. खत्म बात, स्टैटिक हो गई। स्ट्रिक्ट वर्डेड है और यहाँ वेगली वर्डेड है। कैसे वेगली वर्डेड है हम देखेंगे। प्रमोट साइंटिफिक टेम्पर इन एग्रीकल्चर, और कुछ नहीं लिखा। प्रमोट साइंटिफिक टेम्पर इन एग्रीकल्चर। तो ये सारी वेगली वर्डेड चीज़ है। पॉलिटिकल डेमोक्रेसी, यहाँ सोशल एंड इकोनॉमिक डेमोक्रेसी। दीज प्रमोट सोशल एंड इकोनॉमिक डेमोक्रेसी। So these are some of the differences between fundamental right and DPSPs. लिख लिया होगा आपने। Historically, there is a clash between fundamental rights and DPSPs. These are the cases. In the Champakam Dorairajan 1951 case, Supreme Court has given the verdict that whenever there will be clash between fundamental rights on one side and the DPSPs on other side, the court will always choose fundamental rights. So precedence of fundamental rights over DPSPs has been given in this particular Champakam Dorairajan in 1951. And the government has enacted First Amendment Act 1951 after this, which included clause 15 clause 4. अब क्या था ये 15 clause 4, ये आपको जाके देखना पड़ेगा। 15 क्या था? राइट अगेंस्ट डिस्क्रिमिनेशन। तो 15 clause 4 में क्या था आप जाके पता करिए। देन इन री केरला 1957, इसमें क्या बोल दिया? द कोर्ट has taken a stance of harmonious state. It means it has given the verdict that there is no inherent contradiction or conflict between fundamental rights and DPSPs. Yet, if the judge has to choose one of them, then always fundamental rights over DPSP. So one additional clause has been added कि there is no inherent contradiction between these two. The judge, so far as he has given a verdict, he has to comply with both the provisions of DPSP as well as the fundamental rights. But if he has to choose one, always fundamental rights. In गोलकनाथ केस, इसमें तो क्या वर्डिक्ट दे दिया था कि अमेंडमेंट ही नहीं कर सकते आप फंडामेंटल राइट्स का, अमेंडमेंट ही नहीं कर सकते टू इम्प्लीमेंट DPSP। अंडरस्टूड? ऑल दीज फिर कहाँ क्या आया? 25th अमेंडमेंट एक्ट गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने अनेक्ट किया 25th अमेंडमेंट एक्ट विच एडेड क्लॉज 31C। अभी 31C क्या था आपको अगर याद है तो हमने तीन चीज़ पढ़ी थी, 31A, 31B एंड 31C। 5 categories of law has been prevented from judicial review under 31A। 31B फर्स्ट अमेंडमेंट एक्ट के बाद आया था, है ना। क्या था 31B? 9th शेड्यूल। एंड 31C में क्या था? 39B एंड 39C will take precedence over the fundamental rights 19 एंड कौन सा था 14, 19 एंड 31। 31 मैंने लिखाता नहीं हूँ क्योंकि राइट टू प्रॉपर्टी हैज़ बीन अमेंडेड बाय 44th अमेंडमेंट एक्ट 1978। तो 14 और 19 को ओवरटर्न कर देंगी 39B एंड 39C। व्हाट आर 39B एंड 39C? ये हम पढ़ेंगे। 39B बेसिकली गिव्स दैट स्टेट शुड स्ट्राइव फॉर द equitable distribution of resources, and 39C the state should prevent the concentration of resources. So these are 39 and 39B and 39C, which we will be covering in due course of time. Then in Keshwanand Bharti case, this particular thing 31C has been declared constitutional, that it is right कि 31C तुमने ऐड कर दिया, it is right। एक और केस था इसके बाद, मैं नाम भूल रहा हूँ उसका, मिनर्वा मिल केस, याद आ गया। आई थिंक 1983 है, देख लेना एक बार। मिनर्वा मिल केस, इसमें क्या बोल दिया? इसमें बोल दिया वापस हारमोनियस कंस्ट्रक्शन की बात करी। एंड the court has given the verdict to put this balance between DPSP and fundamental rights in the basic structure doctrine। बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर डॉक्ट्राइन कहाँ से? केशवानंद भारती केस से बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर डॉक्ट्राइन दे दिया। मिनर्वा मिल केस में the court has given the verdict that the constitution has been founded on the bedrock of DPSPs and fundamental rights। Thus the balance between these two are inherently part of basic structure doctrine। So in prelims we have been asked this statement that the balance between fundamental rights and DPSPs are put in the basic structure doctrine in which of the following cases? Minerva Mill case। So first absorb this। बीच बीच में ऐसे पॉप होते ना चीज़ें हेड में। अच्छा ये बताना था, ये भी बताना था, एक और चीज़ याद आ गई। इफ़ देयर इज अ स्टेटमेंट इन प्रीलिम्स दैट इज़ इंडिया अ लिबरल डेमोक्रेसी, ऐसे तो आएगी नहीं, फिर भी अगर कोई भी स्टेटमेंट एक आ गई, इंडिया इज़ अ लिबरल डेमोक्रेसी, इट इज़ अ ट्रू स्टेटमेंट। अंडरस्टूड? इंडिया इज़ अ लिबरल डेमोक्रेसी, ये हो गया। द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन hasn't divided DPSP in 3 parts, that is the this bifurcation तो नहीं, trifurcation हो गया। तो this subparts have not been divided in the constitution itself, ये हमारे पढ़ने के लिए है। सो इन प्रीलिम्स अगर ये आ गया, द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हैज़ डिवाइडेड DPSPs in 3 broad parts, this is the incorrect statement, ये याद रखना। now there can be 2 to 3 types of question in this particular thing, और ये सारे प्रीवियस ईयर की क्वेश्चंस हैं पहले से। द फर्स्ट टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन दैट कैन बी आस्क्ड इन प्रीलिम्स, which of these statements, which of these DPSPs are part of the Gandhinian गांधीयन DPSPs, और आपको 4 स्टेटमेंट दे देंगे, उनमें से एक है सबसे फेमस कौन सा है, आर्टिकल 40, द विलेज पंचायत्स। सेकेंड टाइप ऑफ 42nd Amendment Act 1976 has inserted some of the DPSPs in Part 4 of our Constitution. Which of the following DPSPs have been inserted in Part 4 of our Constitution by 42nd Amendment Act? 4-5 ऑप्शन दे दिए। तीसरा क्वेश्चन, द ओरिजिनल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन कंटेन्स द फॉलोइंग DPSPs। तो 3 दे देंगे जो किसी अमेंडमेंट से घुसी है, और चौथी दे देंगे जो ओरिजिनली प्लेस्ड इन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। सो दीज सच काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस कैन बी अटेम्प्टेड बाय अस इन द एग्जाम हॉल। हो गया थोड़ा आसान। लिबरल इंटेलेक्चुअल में 44 यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड आ जाता है, बहुत ही अच्छा है। अब देख लेते हैं हम सारी अपनी DPSPs। मेरे सामने मेरे नोट्स आ चुके हैं, क्योंकि मेरे को भी याद नहीं है, बट आपको भी नहीं होंगे, और अगर आप याद कर रहे हो सो इट इज़ द वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम, क्योंकि कहाँ से आपको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा 2 मार्क्स मिल जाएंगे इसमें। तो आप पढ़ लीजिए और अच्छे से पढ़िए उसे, ताकि आपको बस याद आ जाए हाँ कुछ ऐसा पढ़ा था आपने। स्टार्ट करते हैं। लक्ष्मीकांत लेके बैठिए, उसमें से पढ़िए, और जो जो मैं बता रहा हूँ उसको उधर ही लिख लीजिए। ऐसे मत सोचिए कि यू आर मेकिंग सम नॉनसेंस इन योर बुक्स, ऐसे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। गंदी करिए बुक, बस पढ़िए। 37 हमने पढ़ लिया है, नॉन जस्टिशिएबल बट फंडामेंटल इन गवर्नेंस ऑफ आवर नेशन। 38 देखिए, और 38 मतलब काइंड ऑफ हमारी पहली DPSP हैज़ बीन इंसर्टेड वाया 44th अमेंडमेंट एक्ट, तो उसके आगे 44th लिख लीजिए। Promote the welfare of the people by securing a social order permeated by justice and to minimize inequalities in income, status, facilities and opportunities. This has been inserted by 44th. 39 के 5 सब पार्ट है, A, B, C and D. This has been inserted by 42nd, लिख लीजिए आगे 42nd. 39A, right to adequate means of livelihood for all citizens. 39B, equitable distribution of material resources. Connect your mind by the clash से कनेक्ट कर लिया। 25th Amendment Act inserted 31C which gives precedence to 2 DPSPs 39B and 39C over articles 14, 19 and 31 of fundamental rights। ऐसे कनेक्ट कीजिए। 39B equitable distribution of material resources। 39C prevention of concentration of wealth and means of production। 39D equal pay for equal work for men and women। This is a DPSP. The debate has been going on televisions that if there is a particular task, a woman has completed that task, a man has completed the same task. Why are you giving more salary to the man? So this is the debate going on, and it has been written in our DPSPs, but these are non-justiciable in character. Understood? But government ने एक एक्ट भी ला रखा है, बट आपको पता ही है 90% ऑफ इंडियन इकोनॉमी इज इनफॉर्मल इन नेचर। तो जितने भी एक्ट्स हैं, स्टैट्यूट्स हैं, दीज आर नॉट अप्लाइड इन इट्स स्पिरिट ऑन द ग्राउंड लेवल इन द इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर। दिक्कत ही है। नहीं तो एक एक्ट है इक्वल रेन्यूमरेशन एक्ट, ठीक है। 39D इक्वल पे फॉर इक्वल वर्क फॉर मैन एंड वुमेन। 39F अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर हेल्दी डेवलपमेंट ऑफ चिल्ड्रन। Next, 39 capital A. This has been inserted via 42nd Amendment Act. Free legal aid to poor. The practical implementation of this is NALSA. So National Legal Service Authority Act. तो एक जो एक्ट है लीगल सर्विसेज अथॉरिटी एक्ट 1987 that has been passed in the legislature. Under this, a very famous body, लोक अदालत्स have been constituted. What are these लोक अदालत्स? These are alternate dispute settlement mechanism. फ्रेज अच्छे से सुनिए। अल्टरनेट अपार्ट फ्रॉम कोर्ट्स, डिस्प्यूट देयर इज अ कन्फ्लिक्ट, सेटलमेंट वी हैव टू सेटल दिस, वी हैव टू एडजुडिकेट दिस मैकेनिज्म। सो लोक अदालत आर अल्टरनेट डिस्प्यूट सेटलमेंट मैकेनिज्म्स। किसके अंडर फॉर्म हुए? लीगल सर्विसेज अथॉरिटी एक्ट ऑफ 1987। सो DPSPs हैज़ बीन इम्प्लीमेंटेड। येट अनदर पॉइंट दैट वी हैव फॉरगॉटन टू राइट इन द डिफरेंसेज ऑफ फंडामेंटल राइट्स एंड DPSP. DPSPs are non-justiciable, first point. Yet another point is DPSPs can't be applied without the statute. Legislature has to pass some acts for the application of DPSPs. In fundamental rights, the mere provisions that are written under Part 3 of our Constitution are sufficient for their implementation. Another statute or legislative process is not required for the implementation of fundamental rights. This is yet another difference in our table of fundamental rights and DPSPs. We are talking about 39A, free legal aid to poor. We have talked about the legal services authority under which Lok Adalat has been constituted. There are some features of Lok Adalat. First of all, they can only take compoundable cases. Mind you, both criminal as well as civil. Compoundable cases are those cases which are not very heinous, very grave in nature. It means there can be adjudication of the cases by the settlement of money. आप मनी इधर उधर देके सही कर सकते हो. कैसे? कोई शादी के केस हो गए उसको, कोई छोटी मोटी चोरी हो गई, पॉकेट थीफ एंड दीज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. इफ़ यू हैव मर्डर्ड समवन, तो आप क्या लोक अदालत में जाओगे? वहाँ जज क्या बोलेगा? अच्छा चलो 50,000 दे दो, ख़त्म करो. ऐसा तो नहीं होगा. सो दीज आर ओनली फॉर कंपाउंडेबल केसेस. अंडरस्टूड? कंपाउंडेबल है, नॉन कंपाउंडेबल, एक बार देख लेना. मेरे ख्याल से कंपाउंडेबल ही है. Next thing, there can be two types of cases in Lok Adalat. The first is pre-litigation stage. You have not submitted a notice in the courts. You are at pre-litigation state. So this kind of case can be given to Lok Adalat. The second of all, the case have been litigated in the courts. There is a Sunwai hearing going on, but both the parties agreed to go to the Lok Adalat. Then this case also will be given to Lok Adalat. The decree of Lok Adalat is binding on all the parties. There is no appeal of this particular judgment. थोड़ा सा confuse मत होइए. The decree that has been given by the Lok Adalat is binding, same as the order of the civil court. You can't appeal on this judgment of Lok Adalat in the higher courts, even in the Supreme Court. But you can enable a process of fresh litigation in the courts. आप ये judgment लेके वहाँ नहीं जा सकते. Once a decree has been given, you have to implement that decree. Now, another day, you can approach Supreme Court or High Court and file a fresh case. Understood? So this is some of the characteristics of लोक अदालत. ये हम बाद में भी पूरा टॉपिक पढ़ेंगे, अभी आ गया इसलिए मैंने आपको बता दिया. 41. राइट टू वर्क, एजुकेशन, पब्लिक असिस्टेंस इन केसेस ऑफ अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, ओल्ड एज, सिकनेस एंड डिसेबलमेंट. द आइडिया ऑफ पेंशन स्कीम्स comes from this 41. These are all the original DPSPs. Just and humane condition of work and maternity leave. 43. To secure a living wage, a decent standard of life. 43 capital A, which has been inserted via 42nd amendment. Trade unions. 47. Improving public health. This is original. Now we will come to second thing, Gandhian principles. 40, famous one, village panchayat. 43, yet another, give a star mark, promotion of cottage industries. 43B, which has been inserted via 97th amendment, cooperative societies का promotion. 46th, promote educational and economic interest of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe and other weaker sections. यहाँ से मेरे को एक point याद आ गया. In the previous class, I have told you about the OBCs, SCs and STs. The sociology students might have some confusion regarding that particular part. जबकि मैंने वापस देखा उसे कि हाँ, को confusion हो सकती है इसमें. I have emphasized a point that in the OBC, the C stand for classes and not for caste. Morarji Desai has constituted this Mandal Commission, which has given his report. I think 3750 castes have been identified apart from SCs and STs by Mandal Commission. So the caste has been identified. These caste has been put under a certain head. that is OBCs, other backward classes of citizens. Sociology students, don't confuse this class with the sociological class concept, जो कि इकोनॉमी टर्म में चला जाएगा. ऐसे बोलते हैं ना, अगर जैसे 10 स्टूडेंट्स हैं तो दिस इज़ अ क्लास ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स, तो जनरल लेवल की क्लास है ये. अंडरस्टूड. अदर बैकवर्ड क्लासेस ऑफ सिटीजन्स. अदर बैकवर्ड क्यों? बिकॉज ऑलरेडी वी हैव शेड्यूल कास्ट एंड शेड्यूल ट्राइब. अंडरस्टूड. सो द रिजर्वेशन हैज़ बिन गिवन ऑन द कास्ट बेसिस. अब आप बोलोगे पर हमने 15 में तो पढ़ा था कि ऐसा कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता. द स्टेट शुड नॉट डिस्क्रिमिनेट बेस्ड अपॉन द रेस, रिलीजन, कास्ट, सेक्स, प्लेस ऑफ बर्थ, रेजिडेंस, ये सब पढ़ा था हमने. तो आपने पूरा नहीं पढ़ा. फिर से मैंने वहाँ आपको एग्जांपल दिया था. द स्टेट कांट डिस्क्रिमिनेट सोनली ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दीज क्राइटेरिया, बट येट अनदर क्राइटेरिया इफ क्लब्ड विद दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग. सो येस, इट इज़ वेरी मच कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल टू गिव रिजर्वेशन. तो हमने क्या पढ़ा था? बैकवर्डनेस, कास्ट प्लस बैकवर्डनेस, नाउ यू कैन गिव द रिजर्वेशन. अंडरस्टूड. तो होप सो आपको ये चीज़ समझ में आ गई होगी. 47 प्रोहिबिट कंजप्शन ऑफ इंटॉक्सिकेटिंग ड्रिंक एंड ड्रग्स. 48 प्रोहिबिट काउस मिल्च एंड ड्रॉट एनिमल्स स्लॉटर. मिल्च मतलब दोज हु प्रोड्यूस मिल्क. ड्रॉट मतलब सच एज बुल्स, जिसको सांड बोलते हैं, उसको हम काइंड ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर में यूज़ करते थे, है ना. ऊँट को पहले करते थे. सो दीज आर ड्रॉट एनिमल्स, जिसके पीछे हम हल लगा के जोत सकते हैं. ये सब करते हैं. लिबरल इंटेलेक्चुअल लास्ट पार्ट. 44th यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड, द वेरी फेमस डिबेट अभी भी चल रही है वापस. कहाँ अप्लाइड है? गोवा में अप्लाइड है. अब और जगह भी अप्लाई करने की सोच रहे हैं, गुजरात, हिमाचल प्रदेश, यहाँ सब. 86th अमेंडमेंट एक्ट हैज़ इंसर्टेड आर्टिकल 45, अर्ली चाइल्डहुड केयर एंड एजुकेशन फॉर ऑल चिल्ड्रन. 48 ऑर्गेनाइज एग्रीकल्चर एंड एनिमल हस्बेंड्री ऑन मॉडर्न एंड साइंटिफिक लाइन्स. तो वेरी वेगली वर्डेड. 42nd Amendment Act has inserted this particular provision of 48 capital A, protect and improve environment. 49 protect monuments, objects of artistic or historic interest which are declared to be of national importance. 50 very important, separate judiciary from executive in public services of state. The practical example of this is NJAC, National Judicial Appointment Commission. Supreme Court in 99th has declared void or unconstitutional the NJAC, the 99th Amendment Act of the Parliament. NJAC थी, इसको declared null and void. Why? Because under Article 50 it has been written that separate judiciary from executive in public services of state. Last Article 51 promote international peace and security and maintain just and honorable relations between nations, respect international law, encourage settlement of international disputes by arbitration. So these are all the DPSPs. Yet another thing बहुत ही important है prelim points of view से, क्या? These are non-justiciable in nature as that of preamble, but the courts can decide or may decide on the basis of DPSPs as well as preamble. Understood? If the courts are having some confusion about the constitutionality of a law, so this confusion can be cleared out by reading preamble or reading DPSPs and having an idea that what constitutional fathers want from us while writing this constitution. What is the essence of this constitution? What is the constitutional morality that lies behind this particular act? So constitutional morality आप पढ़ेंगे ethics में. Understood? So this was whole of our topic. So इसका मतलब courts can take the help of preamble and DPSPs, but these are non-justiciable in character. So if you are liking this content, please like this video, share it with your friends and subscribe to our YouTube channel. तब तक के लिए goodbye, जय हिंद.